Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
I'd been embarrassed by those curtains, which had traveled from our first apartment to our second to our first home. They seemed cheap and dorm room-y to me, a brightly patterned reminder of the endless list of things that needed to be updated, fixed, or replaced. But now they were cute, a reminder of the early days, the dreams of marriage, kids, our own place. I forgave the cracks in the paint in the ceiling, the cobweb wafting from the lamp, the piles of unread books on the bedside table. And then it came to me, is this what normal people feel like all the time? I tried to remember the last time I felt so calm, so at home in my own body, and I couldn't think of a single moment since childhood. I went for a walk, taking in the sound of the trees, the leaf blowers, the highway. I spent so much time basking in the feeling of the sun, the warm fall air, and the reprieve from dysphoria that I had to postpone my gun shopping plans. That night, as we celebrated our little family being back together, I realized I had only seen my life through a filter of anger and negativity. With that filter removed, the actual beauty was overwhelming. Dysphoria would eventually overwhelm my microdose of hormones, and I would increase my dosage to defeat it, over the course of a year, creeping up to a full transitional regimen. My body began to change in all the ways I'd been afraid of, but the only uncomfortable thing about the changes was worrying about what other people might think. All the bad things I thought could happen did. My mother, who I'd once been close to, disowned me, telling me that she couldn't have a relationship with me as a trans woman. My wife and I continued to cohabitate and spent painful hours in couples therapy crying over my gender journey, before saying out loud with increasing frequency and conviction the obvious truth that our marriage was over. Acquaintances and colleagues asked about my genitals and my plans for them. I started to plan extra time around errands to allow myself a mental rebound from being laughed at while returning office supplies at Staples, intentionally misgendered buying children's Tylenol at Rite Aid, and death stared at the Social Security office. Being unacceptable to the world sucks. I steadily crossed off milestones, sheepishly asking a salesperson at Sephora for a concealer to cover my 5 o'clock shadow. Deciding that a Tuesday was the right day to put on the pencil skirt I'd rescued from my wife's discards and go to work, for the first time as myself. Attending a workout class for trans people and explaining that no, I wasn't a very successfully transitioned trans man, I was a very larval trans woman. My first trip to the women's bathroom, my first email with pronouns in the signature, my first Starbucks cup with my new name, my first date as me. Standing outside of transness, these things had seemed so strange, so distant. Within, they were full of joy, small and large. Was it really all as selfish as I feared?